Alright guys, before I get into the video, today is the day. I'm going to do the Legend Pass giveaway. So I'm going to announce it, and then the winner I'll announce in like probably a week or so. So stay tuned for that. Just to be eligible for it, all I need is you to be subscribed, and I want you to leave a comment with your team name, your username, and your favorite monster. That's all I need from you, and then I'll contact the winner. I'm going to just put everyone's names into a random number generator. And so I'm not going to be choosing who the winner is. It's going to be completely up to chance. And I should be announcing the winner in about a week or so. So just stay tuned for that. Just make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. And I'll keep you guys updated. So just before we get into the actual list itself, I just do want to clarify this isn't like really a ranking or anything. I do have that on my radar. That is something I'll do eventually. I'm going to do like either a tier list or just like some sort of ranking for relic types, ancestral, obsidian, whatever. But for this video specifically, I'm just going to be naming off the best traps, or basically all the usable trap relics in Monster Legends. We're going to start things off with a heavy hitter, and that is going to be Slumster's trap. This is easily like a top 2 trap in the game. It's not like insanely special when you compare it to other stamina regenerating relics, but traps are just such a good relic slot because they're so versatile. So having access to stamina regen is just super valuable as a relic slot. Double trap is probably my favorite or second favorite relic slot in the game. It's just overall amazing. I'd say the only one that like rivals it, I don't know if they're like tied, I think it kind of depends on the day for me, is like trap and essence. But yeah, double trap is incredible. This trap is one of the reasons why. Moving on, we've got another trap that just kind of solidifies how versatile traps are. So Volcanyx plus Slumster's trap is definitely just like the ideal relic slots for Florian right now. That already makes this super valuable to me. The stamina drain is obviously a really great bonus as well. Unfortunately, when it's maxed out, it doesn't actually drain like a full maxed out mythics level of stamina. That just kind of shows that the relic is a little bit old, because you look at newer like ancestral relics and they'll drain like 3 times of like a full stamina bar, and it's just like insane. So that's honestly the only downside I can see here, and it's not like a huge one. It's a super awesome trap. It doesn't really depend on you dealing damage or really doing anything either. It just kind of applies the tortures. If your monster goes first in battle, you're literally guaranteed to get at least 1 random torture on all enemies, and that's just like super valuable to me. And by the way, both the Volcanyx trap and Slumster's trap are craftable. If you do want to craft them, you can just go into your reliquary and just press on only missing. If you don't have them, they'll show up and you can craft them from there, even if you don't have them already. All right, next up, we've got the Underworld trap. So in my opinion, this is the best trap for Linnaeus. So it works kind of similarly to Volcanyx trap, just actually a little bit better if it's not on a monster like just a denier that's going to ideally be the first monster to get a turn in. So on any tank that's got a trap relic, I think this is usually the best pick. So it removes stamina with 2 different perks rather than just one, and it applies the random torture if the wearer's life is under 50% rather than over 50. So in my opinion, it's just better for tanks who are meant to absorb damage, and they're probably going to be under 50% more time than they're above 50%. So you benefit from that, and then just the extra stamina. Overall, I think this one's a bit better for tanks. But if you're looking at like a denier or like maybe even an attacker, then I would say Volcanyx is probably your best bet over Underworld. Next up, we've got Cosmos Civilization. So this is a really solid trap. It's more of just like a recoil trap. So if you're using a monster that you don't think is even really going to get a turn in, that you like, you know, you wouldn't want to use Underworld Dwellers on because you don't think they're actually going to get a turn in to benefit off of some of those perks, then Cosmos Civilizations is a pretty good option. I use it in my main attack team just because my Diabolus is basically just being used as a team speed holder, so he doesn't even get a turn in it a lot of the time. So I find this one to be pretty useful just for monsters like that. The exact same could be said for our next two traps. I unfortunately don't have these two. These are the only really good two that I don't have. So it's really the same thing. You're just using them as like a recoil trap for a monster that you're not sure if they're going to get a turn in. I probably would use the electric patrol trap personally. That would be my trap of choice if I did have it, but unfortunately I don't. So I'd probably swap out Cosmos Civilizations for that. And then Barbarian Trap, same thing. Really just recoil. Doesn't depend on you, it really just depends on whoever you're facing. Our last two traps are going to be some really good ones. So, Aderlass Trap, this is going to be probably my personal pick for the best trap in the game. Slumsters definitely has some really good utility and they shine in different situations in different ways. But for just like a 3-speed monster, which a lot of trap wearers are, Aderlass Trap is just the way to go. Applying toxins is to all enemies 3 times, by the way, is just insane. The healing is just like kind of an alright bonus. But AoE toxins 3 times is just absolutely mental. That's like a top 1 to 2 torture in the game, without a doubt. I'm really happy that I finally picked this one up. I haven't had a ton of chances to use it yet. I have messed around with it a little bit, but yeah, super happy to have it for Wars. And finally, we've got the Underworld Dwellers trap. So this trap is super cool, it's super interesting, and it's honestly really amazing. I'm super happy that I picked one up when I did. I think it was like the first tier 6 chest that I actually opened. I got this, and it's making Aderlass have like this huge resurgence. He was really only used because of his trait before, but now it's because of his trait and this trap. It honestly makes me super happy. So the other perks are good, like especially the top one is quite nice. But the main thing is the dark weakness at the start of the battle. It has amazing synergy with Obscure Sword. I use the trap in my main team because I use an Obscure Sword on my Akira, and it has some amazing synergy with Max too. Honestly, those are the only two really like pop-in sources of dark damage off the top of my head right now, but they're both very, very relevant. So it makes this trap amazing in both multiplayer and wars. And if I had to rank them, I would do probably Aderlass Trap at first place. I would do Slumsters next. I would do probably Underworld Dwellers right after. And then I would do Volcanyx. And then I would do Underworld. And really none of the other traps are all that relevant. I do kind of like the Seoul Guard Trap. It's alright. Like, you're basically trading the stamina drain on a Volcanyx trap for just like a bit of damage and a bit of healing. It has to be used on a denier for that to work though. So it's way more situational. Probably won't get a ton of use out of it. And then, yeah, after Underworld, it would just be like all the recoil traps, probably Electra Patrol, then Barbarian, and then Cosmos Civilizations. But that's really just off the top of my head. I'll have to go more in depth at some point once I do like a full tier list or ranking video. I'll probably do one for all the Ancestrals and then maybe all the Obsidians or something. I'll figure it out at some point. It's definitely something that's on my radar and I'll do eventually. And just before I wrap it up, just a heads up, I am probably going to be posting another poll sometime in the next 24 hours or so. So you guys can choose what relic type I do another one of these videos on. I'm going to make it a little series for each relic type, so you guys can choose which one you'd like to see most next, and then, yeah, don't worry, the video after this one will be account reviews. I know you guys seem to be really interested in watching the account reviews, so next video will be the account reviews, and then after that, I'll probably do another relic video like this, whichever relic type you guys decide you want to see the most. Thank you so much to anyone who's actually watched this far in the video. I really appreciate it, and please let me know down in the comments if you have any thoughts or any trap relics you really like. Let me know your favorite, let me know your least favorite. And yeah, just thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it.